River of Life School of Ministry, located in Rusk, Texas, is a 2-year non-denominational Bible college where students receive training in supernatural ministry. Training includes pastoral ministry, children's and youth ministry, worship ministry, missions, and evangelism. Classes are taught by an anointed, experienced faculty. Each class is prayerfully chosen so that students receive the training needed for today's cutting-edge ministry.
What we've seen in the body of Christ is that people really struggle with what God has called them to do and what their purpose on the earth is. And part of our desire for the school is to help people find that purpose in their life. Why were they created? Why were they born? What is God's intention for their life? And we wanted a place where they could come and not just be taught about God, but to encounter Him.
The vision for River of Life School was birthed in 2003 when pastors Robert and Lisa Corbell and their congregation were given the former East Texas Medical Center, a 38,000 square foot hospital building.
We started mowing the yard, and you've heard of people walking by faith. We began to mow by faith and just praying over the campus here and just the facility and believing that God was going to give it to us.
The Lord spoke to the church and told them that the original intent for the building in the natural was to help bring healing, and now He was going to use it to bring spiritual healing.
All the patient rooms are no longer patient rooms now. They're our dormitories. Our cafeteria is our main lecture room. It's also a sanctuary. And then we have several other classrooms as well. God has really shown us His favor in this ministry and for the school.
I'm always blessed by the hunger of the students here, by the openness to the Spirit of God, by the worship that takes place here. This is a place where limitations are just being peeled off of people right and left. There's just a atmosphere here of believing God that is refreshing.
River of Life School of Ministry is a place that helps students find and fulfill God's destiny for their lives. The emphasis of training is receiving the fullness of the gospel of Jesus Christ so it can be poured out to the nations of the world.
Environment, day to day, just being immersed in the Spirit of God 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just the attitude of worship that is expressed here.
We had one instructor I'm thinking of every Friday for that whole second year that I was here. He brought us groceries. All of us that lived here on campus were basically going check to check or on the faith of God, and he brought us groceries every single Friday. And had I gone to a school of 2,000 people, that would have never happened.
Every single instructor has that kind of impact on you. If I had never gone through their class, there would be a piece of me missing.
Instructors are encouraged not only to teach, but also to help mentor students in their calling.
One of the most beneficial things about coming to school here is that in your second year, you receive a mentor that you meet with weekly. And it's not just limited to your talking about your classes or your schedule, but you're actually mentored by someone who you can spend that time with to discuss anything.
It was almost more of a bearing your heart, just opening up and sharing things that maybe God is talking to you about, or areas that you may be thinking that you're going towards, and they know how to help give you that guidance to direct you forward, and they're continually praying for you.
In the second year, you have a mentor, and that is such an important relationship, and it was in my life so much. And just that quality time that I got to spend one-on-one with her, and just how she would speak into my life.
We believe that students not only need instruction, but they need opportunities to use what God is teaching them.
Not only practically, but spiritually, it's just a well-balanced school that God can just take you from wanting and dreaming about being in ministry or dreaming about going here or going there, and actually put you into the place where your feet are actually touching the ground where you used to dream about being.
Outreach is a major part of your time at the River of Life School of Ministry. We realize that ministry is about people. Therefore, our real work is outside the four walls of the church.
One of the requirements to graduate is to go on an outreach, a missions outreach. You'll have the opportunity to not only just witness, but preach and to teach and to share your testimony to those other nations.
If you're looking for a school that will help you reach God's dream in your life, we believe that River of Life is the place for you.
You know, so often it can be so frustrating. I'm wondering what to do. I'm called into ministry, but what to do next? What am I supposed to do? And it can even be quite lonely. Sometimes family, friends, even churches don't understand what's going on the inside of you. And so I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to take that step of faith, to take that jump, to move forward, and to not look at circumstances or situation and not to be deterred or distracted by the things of this world. But go ahead and just take that step of faith and begin that training and that preparation for the calling that He's placed in your heart. There's a tremendous calling. There's a tremendous gift that God's given you, and the world is waiting to hear it and to see it and to be changed by it. And so I want to encourage you just to jump in the river and see that happen in your life.
There's a place I know everyone can go, where the city glows and shines. It's a light you see, bringing life and peace, and I hope to hurt and broken lives. It's a special place